Hey guys, welcome back to ScarletSprites. This is just another fooling around in the basement type video. I recently talked about the Virtua Cop 2 cabinet and showed the House of the Dead board running in it. What I didn't show at the time, or what you didn't hear rather, was the scratching audio coming out of the left speaker. Yeah, it's not great to listen to. Alright, I'm done. So this is where people will sometimes call out that this is why they don't want a real arcade machine, or that these things are just problematic. And while it's true that aging electronics of any type really can give you issues, I wouldn't want someone to pass on something that was a good deal because of something like this. Now remember, I got a really good deal on this cabinet, and even if it had been presenting this issue at the time, I still would have purchased it. Troubleshooting things like this are honestly pretty straightforward. I really didn't know anything about arcade machines when I first got the Neo Geo cabinet a few years ago, but the great news is there is a wealth of information online to help you get up to speed on just about anything. I think most of you have some intuitive skills as well from working on other projects, console gaming, and fellow science people out there are no doubt familiar with some very basic elimination methodology. So in this case, first thing I'm going to do is switch the speaker wire from left over to the right. If the left speaker sounds normal with the right channel audio, we can likely eliminate the left speaker as faulty. And here we go. The left channel now sounds great, so it's not the speaker, but the right speaker sounds terrible. So the noise is definitely coming through the line, so we've ruled the speaker out as the cause. The next thing, and arguably in most cases should be your first thing, you want to check the voltages and make sure you're not over or underpowering your game. I didn't have a camera set up when I did this for real, but I can show you a quick mock-up here. You just need a simple multimeter, set it to read DC, and you're going to place black on the ground and then red on each of your lines. This top one says 5 volts, so no surprises here, your meter reading should be around 5 volts. If it isn't, you can use the dial on the top to turn the power up or down to get yourself close to the 5 volts. On the bottom there is the 12 volt setting. Same thing, you want that as close to 12 volts as possible. It can be a bit of a pain because sometimes you'll line the 5 up and the 12 will drift, but so long as you aren't crazy over, you should be okay. So to kill any suspense, the voltages in this cabinet were perfectly fine, no issues. Some of you also may recall in a recent video I hooked up House of the Dead to this cabinet. When House of the Dead was connected, the left channel still made the rough scratching noises that it's making now. Now that tells us that it isn't specific to the game board since it happens with both games. So now that leaves probably what some of you think was most obvious from the beginning. The soundboard itself must have some type of issue. Now to be fair, I ran through some common things here just to give you some ideas on basic troubleshooting. If you're stuck, it's never a bad thing to start with the most basic things first and work your way up. But yes, looking at the soundboard, there are a few obvious issues. For one, it looks like it underwent some repairs at some point in the past. There's a component missing that has since been wired and then kind of tossed to the corner here. I have no idea why that's the case or if it's working properly or not, but it's definitely an ugly job. The other thing that's noticeable is that there are some burned up resistors on the board. So at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say this is our issue. Shocker, right? This is caused by the soundboard. I know you're all blown away hearing that. So I have some options here. I can attempt to repair this myself. It doesn't look too terrible, honestly. It would just be a matter of replacing those resistors and then hunting down whatever the other part was that has been oddly repaired. If I don't trust myself, and to be frank, I often don't, I'm not the greatest at soldering, I could send this to someone else to repair. My buddy Will at Retro Hacks would no doubt be willing to take a crack at this, or I could be really lazy and just replace the whole thing. Well, guess what option I chose? It doesn't mean I won't take a stab at a repair later down the line, but I googled the part number of the board, found one for sale, and for 40 bucks it seemed worth it to be able to just put this whole thing to bed. So I wired the new one up and flipped the switch. Way better than before. And by better I mean it's 100% normal and doesn't sound like garbage. Hope you guys enjoyed this short check-in. I should have a cute name for this stuff that I do on the weekends, but I just don't, so it is what it is. As always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you all next time. Later, guys.